You are my fire, the one desire. Believe when I say I want it that way. Do you know what? I have to do 90s challenge. So I'm kind of thinking of songs that I need to do because Benny couldn't just put anyone else's name, had to put my name there. But anyways, guys, hello. We've got another video. So I don't understand what inspired me to make this video, but I guess it's made for somebody because I woke up thinking about it and I was like, I had like when I know I have a good video idea, I get like butterflies. So that's when I know that I'm meant to talk about something a lot of the time. Sometimes I just talk for the sake of talking, and then after it I'm like if I laugh or I feel connected, then I'm like, yes, the right video. Sometimes I don't feel like that. Sometimes I just put it out because you need content. But today I actually had the butterflies feeling. So I was like, oh, this is something I need to talk about. And it's about our dating can lead us to pick who would be bad parents or good parents. So often, okay, I don't even know how I came up with this because I was thinking about it and I was like, shit, I should be a psychologist, because I got it. So let's just hope it translates as much as it was in my head that it comes out right. So I don't know how to even start it. It's so weird not being able to edit a video properly. Um. Okay. I start like this. Our dating history, who we pick as partners, ultimately, you can tell from dating if somebody is going to be a good parent or not. And it sounds because some people don't take dating seriously, but sometimes every answer that you could ever possibly want in someone, you can get in the dating stages. Just seeing them. You can get anything you want, but it's what you choose to ignore and what you choose to allow. Many of us have maybe came from, I don't want to say broken homes, but I don't really like that term, but maybe some outspoken in a sense where we've obviously seen disrespect from our parents. Some of us have been raised through single parent homes. Some of us have our parents inside out. Some of us have been raised in care. Some of us have been raised with our grandparents. There's a lot of people like that. And some people have just had it really bad in general. So you've not really had the best upbringing or the best start. So what we tolerate a lot of the time is the way we move and what we tolerate ultimately being the product of our environment sculpts us into what we start looking for or what we start needing in other people. Okay, I'm getting somewhere. I know, I can feel it. So uh with that being said, I do think that because I was thinking that and then after I was like, but when you know that you've seen something bad and you've grown up and you become an adult, like when you're an adult, there's no justification of you knowing, like not knowing when something is bad or when you're accepting too much or too little, or you just know what you don't want. So when do you take responsibility for yourself in saying, this is enough? This is not what I want, or I can't keep doing this. I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be hurting this person like this. I shouldn't be repeating this cycle. When do you get to a point in life where you can actually self-reflect, and see that and take responsibility for it? Because there's a lot of people that always live and delve into their past, and then their present and their future mistakes, they keep justifying on their past because they saw this and they saw that. And I honestly believe that there's a point in life where that becomes an invalid reason, because you have to be you're a whole adult at a certain point and you have to take accountability for your mistakes. So if you don't choose to get help in resolving certain issues, and you know that there's issues, then you only have your fault to blame for that. You can't keep blaming the past for that. You have to blame the fact that you haven't received the proper needs and the proper help, and taking that in self-developing yourself to be a greater person, so you know that the best person that you could be, you you could be an even better person for somebody else, let alone if you want kids. There's a lot of people that are broken that know they have issues wrong, and they don't seem to think that it's anything they should fix, but they want kids and they continue to have kids. And then when shit happens and shit hits the fan with these people that they have kids with, and they end up being a bad parent, they end up not being there, they end up being promiscuous, all these issues combined, then you blame that person for how they are and what they did, and how could they, because we've all done it. But we ultimately chose those people. And you see things. Let me tell you how things relate. My dad, I don't know what it was like, him and my mum dating prior to me, but I could only imagine. So for the things that I saw things that definitely was inhumane for any child to see. So there's certain things that I know that when my mum was dating, she definitely ignored, because it became so normal the way he was treating her, and it would it would be like a domino effect onto me. So if he's cheating on my mum, ultimately, when you're cheating on a spouse that you have a child with, you're not only being a bad man, an unfaithful husband, you're being a bad father. And you're being a bad father because wait, you're that cheating time that you're taking to do your endeavors and to feed that inner dog inside you, you're taking pressures away from you being a father to your child. So there was times where he would be cheating on my mom, and he would not be here. He'd be taking time away from being a father to me. And then when shit hits the fan, I will see the aggression. You see the domestic violence. You see all of that. So it's like you see all these things in one, and you've totally disregarded me as a child. So you've not thought of yourself as a father before you thought of down here. You thought of down here first, and you felt self-righteous because there's certain behaviors and characteristics that wasn't checked before he even got to have the opportunity to be a father. But then saying that, there's a lot of men, because my dad is older than my mom. My mom got pregnant with me when she was 17. At 17, what should you really see? You know, my mom, like, at 17, how can you explain this to a 17-year-old? This is why this is a good video, because I'm going to explain how you can be young, because I have a lot of young people that watch my videos, and avoid mistakes like these, as well as people that are of age, to stop breaking cycles. You can see mistakes. All of us see problems with people while we're dating. No matter whether you choose to be in your honeymoon stages, there's always something that is wrong that you can see. And when someone is already, that is already the first instance of people showing you who they truly are before you're even in anything. So if that's something you're willing to ignore, then be prepared for those things that you ignore now to escalate into a relationship. It's going to. It's going to. And you're going to start seeing things then that you don't like, that you don't this, that you don't this, that you don't this. And you're going to start pinpointing things. Now, I'll give you personal experience. My first ex, right? My first boyfriend ever. He was a master manipulator. That man could manipulate his way around thinking that the moon was the sun and the sun was the moon. Like, woof, Jesus. And it's so funny because when I first met him, I felt uncomfortable because I felt like he was just always there. Like he wouldn't let me breathe. If I wanted to go here, he had to come. If I wanted to just meet my friends, he had to come. He always had to be there. Always. And he was disrespectful. He slept with he's cheated on me with someone that ended up dying of AIDS. He was cheating straight up and down. I still very much believe that he had a girlfriend the whole time. And he was in my family home, mingling with my mum's husband liked him. My mum actually really liked him, you know. My brothers and sisters for Christmas, he was there. Like everyone loved him. And no one knew that he was so disrespectful. All those instances, all those things that I allowed, can you imagine the type of father that he would have been? And it does justify it. Because if someone can disrespect the first point of contact for the person that they're meant to love, how do you expect them to be the miraculous best parent for the child? Are you out of your mind? Are you insane? If you're going to disrespect me, you're meant to love me. There's no, that is going to translate into those situations will translate into into another type of situation when it comes to them being a parent. So I give you the manipulation thing. My dad, he always used to do this thing where like he would go on his rampages and he would just start talking about my mum. Like your mum's this, your mum's that, your mum's this. Like you only think like this because of your mum. You only like this because of your mum. You only did this because of your mum. Like why did you not see me last week? It's because of your mum. And it's like at a certain age when he started doing it, I couldn't speak back because if I tried to speak back, oh my god, yes. So you had to endure it. When I hit 17 and he started that nonsense, oh, that's when I started. I just would explode because it's like, how do you have the audacity to even think for a minute you can bitch about my mum even as 0.5%? Considering that if it wasn't for her, God knows where I would be. When you was doing your cheating, your drunken rampages, when you was not there going in and out of prison, if you if I had to be in your care, what would have happened to me? So when you want to bitch, and when these men like bitching about parents or mothers like to be bitching about the person not being like how this person is and how this person is, if that child had to wholly be in your care, if I had to be in his care, I do not know what would have happened to me. You guys, there's certain things I would never say on camera. I could never for my own. Like it's just I just don't think it's right for me to put that stuff on camera. But I really had one hell of I saw a lot of things that I should never have seen. It's even amazing how I've never been arrested, how I don't take drugs, and how I don't how just certain things I just don't just it's crazy how I'm actually like this, but I think I'm like this because I self-reflect and I know what happened. I'm not ashamed of things that have happened, and I'm able to put stuff to bed. I'm very very lucky, you know, that I'm able to do that because a lot of people can't do that. A lot of people can't face the truth, face the past of what happened, and it's very important to get to that point in your life where where you have to. Otherwise, you're never gonna know peace. You're never gonna know peace. It's always gonna haunt you. It's always gonna haunt you. What happened, what you saw, what you did, and I feel like it did in a way. It trickled into my adulthood with the people that I was dating because then I actually started dating people like my father. So it's like I was dating my dad all over again. I was accepting all the things that my mum accepted, and it would turn into a disaster. And it's only occurred to me today when I was reading that like I was thinking about something that was close to home, and I was thinking to myself like when you see people and they're bad parents, you're hearing these stories that these people have to chase them down for now they have to pay for their child support, they can't pay it, and all of these problems that you have. we ultimately are the cause of those people, because you we give ourselves too easily to people, especially when we start seeing things bad in the beginning. And that's why it's important not to have sex with somebody, because you don't know who you're sleeping with, for one. And secondly, you shouldn't be having unprotected sex with people in an instant that you know them just like that. You can't trust anyone from Adam. And then when you get pregnant, you expect them to be there, but you never even opened your eyes enough to know if this person was worthy, even having your heart, even being with you, before you could have allowed yourself to have a whole child from someone that probably wasn't worth it. I've seen people have one night stands and get really angry that the person don't want to be a dad. And it's not like I wouldn't, I'm not saying that you should abort the child, absolutely not. But then at a certain point, I feel like you need to take responsibility and you just have to suck it up and let it be, because you don't even know this person before you allowed yourself to get pregnant the one time you had them sex, the one time that you even saw them. It's insane. It's insane. It's really insane. So when someone's disrespecting you, slapping you around, maybe not even that, maybe they're emotionally blackmailing you, maybe they're manipulative, just in dating. All of these things in dating will justify how someone is being a parent. Are they attentive? Are they compassionate? Are they caring? And you don't want to hear, oh no, but they're angry, but they're aggressive, but they can be violent, but they can be, they can be what? If you have to see any of that in dating and you're still there, people that are master manipulators could be the worst type of abusers, to be honest. I don't like all that stuff. It is emotional blackmail and all that stuff, because when shit hits the fan, because you will never have a successful relationship with someone like that in the first place, and it will only get worse. And if you eventually are not together and your child has to go and see that person, they will start planting seeds in that child's mind about how bad of a parent you are. Don't be surprised if a lot of times when you see things and a child can go and be with their parent, and suddenly little times they keep coming back. They keep coming back, like, and they seem to have an animosity towards you. Sometimes that person is planting a seed. When you have to know, when someone's manipulated you, you think you got out. Oh no! When you just feel like you have to be a co-parent and your child has to see them, your child's gonna be the one to get everything that you got in just a different way. They might not be physically abusive to your child, but they'll probably be emotionally abusive to your child. A lot of people are bitter in this world, you know. You wonder why there's a lack of black men that are good fathers, because we allow people that are broken to feel like we can. It's like we like fixing. We feel like we can fix people. You can't. If someone can't fix themselves, they cannot do it. And if you see any of these traits during dating, you need to get the fuck out. It's not someone that can be a good father. It's not. It's honestly not. It's not. No one can just be you can't treat someone who you're meant to love and the bearer of a whole child, watching someone bear a whole child. You should have so much immense love for that person. You should always want to protect them. Like, are you crazy? And to still disrespect them after that, after this everything you're going through, and you think that you're going to be a good parent. No, life don't work like that. That is not how life works. It's crazy. It's like it's not, I don't even give you an example for that. It's ridiculous. Please. You want me? Do you know how hard it is for me as a gamer? I have to go through whole surrogacy and all this nonsense, right? To end up building this house where my house is gonna be, it has to be so strong, because we're gonna face a lot of adversity, a lot of discrimination, prejudice. My child is probably going to go through some stuff, which I'm hoping not. But I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to put that out there, but I'm just trying to be realistic, you know, what the possibilities of what could happen. For me to go through all that and me to have to rely on this man, and for him to then go out there and possibly cheat and all this stuff, I should never go into a relationship even thinking that's possible. There's certain things that I saw with my ex in the beginning, because now I'm thinking about it, even now,